Hey, it's Huck. And I know I am posting this very late. Very late. By Huck standards, I'm posting this like tomorrow. It's 2:45 in the morning here. And you'll have to forgive me. I have been... I slept a good portion of the day today because I wasn't feeling real well. So I'm up a lot later than I normally am. And in these late hours, I'm getting caught up with some of the programming that I would have normally watched earlier in the evening. I hope many of you watched Rachel Maddow tonight. I find that her broadcasts probably keep me up to date a little bit more with the with the real details behind the Russia investigation and what what it is Mueller is probably working on and has been discovering. And what probably has President Trump so paranoid. But I hope you've watched it again this evening, simply because it brought home two things. First of all, as everybody is probably aware of, there are a lot of people that are very concerned at this point that that Trump is successfully obstructing justice with really an unprecedented amount of help from Republicans, particularly Representative Nunes and other members of the House Intelligence Committee, Republicans, with no small help from other Republicans, including Paul Ryan. This whole memo and subsequent investigation by the Republicans of the Department of Justice and the FBI has a lot of Democrats and a lot of progressives and a lot of anti-Trump folks rightly panicked. And I think a lot of people are wondering at what point, if any, will these folks stop, or will Trump actually successfully undermine the Mueller investigation and either undermine it to the point where its findings become irrelevant, or will he manage to stop the investigation and fire Mueller altogether? I think it's fair to say that if anyone had thoughts that things were going to get a lot worse before they got better, well, today was probably evidence that they certainly have gotten worse. I guess I want to take a step back from that panic and remind everyone that we still live in a country where basically 2/3 of the population don't approve of this president, nor really trust this president. We still live in a country where there are midterm elections coming up. later this year. Elections where the Democrats need only turn over 24 seats to take power back in the House of Representatives. And Republicans are resigning seats in the House at a rate that is astounding. 33 House Republicans, including another one today, have resigned their seats. And a lot of that, I would say the vast majority of that, has been as a direct result of pushback from folks like you and me and other people that either belong to some organization like Indivisible, or maybe they're just on an email list with someone who is a member of one of these progressive organizations. And together, they have been emailing, they've been writing, they've been calling, and they have, most importantly, been showing up at these congressmen's district offices, at their Washington, D.C. office. And a lot of these guys, I think, deep down, realize that payback for all of this ignoring or winking at what Trump is doing. All of this complicitness on the part of Republicans is going to come at a high price. And I think, honestly, a lot of these Republicans don't want to be around, or at least don't want to be running for office or be in office when the stink hits the fan. At some point, Democrats are going to take control of both chambers. And I have absolutely no doubts in my mind that it's going to begin with the House in 2018 and will also involve the White House in 2020. And I don't think there are too many Republicans in office today, or around the country for that matter, who don't see that coming. And when that does come, all of these folks who are really working in unprecedented fashion to undermine the Mueller investigation, to cast aspersions on the Department of Justice, the FBI, the intelligence community, for their legitimate concerns and investigation of Trump and the Russian interference in our elections. I think there is going to be a reckoning, and it may not surface in 2018. The final reckoning, where a lot of these individuals are finally brought to justice, may not be until we have an election or two. And there are Democrats in power, and there's going to be nothing stopping them from going back and taking a hard look at what a lot of these folks are doing right now to obstruct the justice of this investigation. And there would be really nothing stopping them from launching, if necessary, a whole new investigation, even involving many of the same investigators that are working so hard as we speak. So they say that, there's that saying about the long arc of justice. And I think my own opinion is, I think Democrats aren't stupid. We have a few things on our side. I would not be a bit surprised if in the aftermath of seeing this ridiculous Nunes memo released, that the Democrats don't come back with a pretty powerful counterpunch. And I'm not exactly sure where that's going to come from, but I believe that even Republicans know that the credibility of Nunes and this memo is razor thin. And it's like a house of cards. I think, that's apparent in the fact that they would not, vote to allow the Democratic response to that memo, or even a review by the Department of Justice or the FBI. So I do strongly believe that all is not lost by any means whatsoever. I think, like I say, things often look at their worst before, they ultimately get better. But the one thing that hasn't changed is the absolute necessity for each of us in the resistance to keep resisting, to not throw up our hands and say, I give up. I give, uncle. That can never be the correct course. It is stunning to see how Republicans have reacted in the face of such strong opposition, though. On January 20th, over the weekend, we saw 2 days of, marches, really all across the country, and they were huge. In some places, hundreds of thousands of people marching. And, we saw it in D.C., we saw it in L.A., we saw it, in Chicago and Atlanta. We saw it, even in, in cities and towns where you frankly wouldn't have expected anything at all. And that comes, of course, a year after those unprecedented marches on the weekend of the president's inauguration. And at any other time, such record numbers of protests, the largest in this nation's history, you would think, make Republicans give pause to any further obstruction of this investigation. I think they are panicking. Not the Democrats. I think the Republicans are panicking. I think that's why you are seeing so many choose to resign their office. I think, like I say, I don't think they want to be around. I don't think they want to be in office when the, when the reckoning comes. And I think they see what's going on. And so, at any rate, I'm asking everybody here to take heart. Don't allow the news media, or the relentless attacks on our democratic institutions, manipulate your principles and your commitment to justice. Like I say, I think the time is coming. I'm not at all giving up on the Mueller probe whatsoever. I really do think that if any effort is made to oust Rosenstein or Mueller, that I think we'll stand up. I think in numbers that will be pretty stunning. And like I say, I think Republicans have already shown, the yellow stripe along their back, that when the going gets tough, there's only so much obstruction you can do before you see the writing on the wall. And, once it looks like they're coming after you, I think they will be running for the hills. So, whether it happens in 2018 or 2019 or 2020, I think all of them are going to pay the price. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to see the inside of a prison before this is all over. And I think there'll be a few elected officials in Congress that will be joining them. I really do. And like I say, obstruction of justice is a criminal offense. It's not just an impeachable offense. So we'll see where this leads, but I haven't given up hope whatsoever, and neither should you. Stay strong. And, I'm sorry, again, posting this so late. I'm going to try to get something up again here in the next couple of days. But I just wanted to put this out there because the news has been, let's face it, it's been depressing to see this. And I think, I just wanted to let you know that I'm not allowing it to weaken my resolve or my commitment, and neither should you. So, anyway, I thank you very much for watching at whatever time in the morning you might be viewing this. And I promise I will see you again real soon. Have a great day.